Alright folks, welcome to another video for ICE, Invincible Crew Entertainment. Hopefully you're enjoying the content we're putting out here. You're gonna find content not only from me, but also DCMTG, another awesome content creator. And what I have for you today is some Esper Control in Modern. Everybody's super hyped up about the printing of Counterspell, which promises to be extremely impactful in the Modern format. And it's an incredibly powerful card, and it's going to be coming out with Modern Horizons 2. But even as we stand right now, Esper Control is very well positioned, I think. Mostly because of how the metagame is shaping up. Because of how the metagame is shaping up, we have Blue-Red Prowess and Blue-Red Heliod at the top of the format, and this deck lines up very well against both of them because we have access to not only a bunch of cheap removal, but also we have access to counter magic, with some cheap, some not so cheap, but we have some powerful haymakers. And we don't care about the infinite life that Heliod can gain, because even if your opponent manages to gain infinite life, you can use Jaceman Sculptor Ultimate to deck them, or you can deck them by using the Fairy Hero of Dominaria. The way that this works, obviously, is that you hopefully get a Teferi to ultimate, and then you exile your opponent's all of your opponent's permanents, and then every single turn you just play Teferi and you -3 it, in and of itself, in order to prevent yourself from decking. So the deck is super good. It has access to a bunch of powerful cards. I think that the real sleeper is Kaya's Guile. This card has risen to popularity lately because it's very powerful at what it does. It's extremely flexible as well. So you can use it in the early game to like kill your opponent's creature and maybe gain a couple of life in order to help you stabilize. And in the late game, you just get all of these effects. The nice thing about this deck is that it plays almost entirely at instant speed. So the only sorcery speed cards that you have access to are the Teferi and the Jace, so your Planeswalkers, and Damnations in the sideboard. Everything else, you are just playing at instant speed, so you can always play a very powerful Drogo game against them while you accrue card advantage thanks to Expert Charm and Archmage's Charm. And then eventually, whenever you find an opening, you can just slam one of your Planeswalkers and then make sure that your Planeswalkers are going to get you to victory. This is the list that TSP Yendrek has been playing lately and doing very well with, so he's one of the best control players out there. And yeah, I took this from one of his prelim 4-0s, which, you know, he's always doing well with this deck. If you're enjoying the content, of course, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can help us grow this brand new channel that we're trying to nurture here. So we would really appreciate it if you did so. But yeah, I will see you there for round number 1. All right, here we go for round number 1. Yeah, seems like a fine hand to keep. Can go with a fetch land. We can fetch Shock for a Water Ray to push something if we're playing against an aggressive deck. We can also opt looking for Tron. Yeah, I don't think we can bottom Force of Negation. No turn 3 Tron. All right. I'm saving to the Force so that we can play Jace and then use Force to counter my opponent's Planeswalker. So I'm gonna be spending this turn Snapcaster opting, looking for a land. But yeah, I'm definitely slamming the Jace this turn with Force backup. Any land will do. Yeah, that one counts. So we're gonna Jace here. We're gonna Brainstorm. Hopefully shuffle this Fatal Push away. No shuffle effects. But now we get to untap with a Jace. hopefully we get to untap, I guess. Should be a little bit more specific there. Slowing down my opponent from having Tron seems like a losing proposition. Wow. What hand did my opponent keep? Karn the Great Creator. Yeah, sure. Let's force that. Now we have the option of the Fairy Plus or Jace. I think I'm gonna Jace this turn so we can Cryptic. Send both of those. I guess I should have, obviously I messed up my sequencing there, right? Once that I figured out that's what I wanted to do, I wanted to hold Cryptic, I shouldn't have played my land first. I was punished by finding the fetch land there. But now we can hold on Cryptic this turn, and next turn we get to Teferi plus do I want to counter this? I don't think so, because my opponent can steal Baby Karn here. Did find a tower. We have no way of answering lands. 6 mana, so that's fine. That sucks. Them having exactly second card there is pretty brutal. Name Jace. So I'm gonna hold on to the fetch land. So I'm planning on unlocking that Jace eventually. Tap these two. Holding up Archmage's Charm here. As long as we're dodging Ulamog for maybe a turn or two, we should be in okay shape. Sure. That's an interesting play. That's fine. That's a weird line, because it opens up the Biden Needle to be killed here. Card liberated. So now they're getting Ulamog, which is obviously a concern. Yikes. Down with Karn. So I think we want to plus here first. Then we want to push the Biting Needle. Then we Brainstorm. Send in both of these cards. Then we play the fetch land. And we can Snapcaster counter draw that thing. Willemog's probably gonna kill both of my walkers. So what I can do is I can counter bounce my Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that seems like the best line. So fetch for, I guess, Hallow's Fountain. I don't think it matters too much. I'm going to Snapcaster Cryptic Command. We're going to counter target spell, return target permanent. This means that I'm still going to have a Teferi going next turn, which is going to help me stay ahead on mana. We still get to Archmage's Charm, whatever they play next turn, and then following turn we get to Snapcaster. Cryptic's not bad, I guess. Yeah, we may be able to win this one. And if they play nothing, we would get to Scry 2. So much value. We even have Snapcaster in hand, so let's see what they're doing here. All is dust. So what we can do here is we can Snapcaster Archmage's Charm, and this means that I have a 2-turn clock with the Snapcasters. I guess I'd rather force, because I can, you know, like bounce a Snapcaster and stuff like that. So force of negation over there. This is game 1, so I don't need to play on Veil or anything like that. They could have Karn Great Creator, but at this point it just doesn't do anything. I even think that I'm just going to go face with this Snapcaster Mages, so I can put my opponent on a 2-turn clock. Snare and Bridge. You got it. Those are not very good. Not great draws there, obviously, but here we have double counter magic. If they play the Ensnare and Bridge, I guess I'm just gonna let it resolve. I was going to just minus the Teferi on it, or bounce it with Cryptic and swing for lethal. So I'd rather hold up, you know, counter spells for the Walking Ballista and the stuff that I can't deal with otherwise. Nope. Counter target spell, draw a card. Oh, it's hilarious. I don't even need to, because I just have a bunch of tutus. Don't even need to deal with the Ensnare impression. They still have 2 cards in the hand. Alright. Took game 1. Feels good. Because in game 1 we have cards like Fatal Push, Go for the Throat, which have no targets whatsoever in their deck. I guess we can go for the Throat in Truck Dusk. Also, I just noticed I have mismatching Go for the Throats. This looks clean to me. Funny how that play of counter Ulamog bounce my own Teferi is the only reason why I won that game. Otherwise, I don't think we would have been able to keep up on cards because my opponent's hand was pretty gassy. They kept 7. Can this hand be Tron? Probably not. This hand definitely cannot be Tron. This one may or may not be able to. Multi 5 against Tron, not where you want to be. Not where you want to be for sure. We are facing the dreaded turn to Tron. It's interesting to me that this deck doesn't play something like a Thoughtseize or some other way of interacting with the opponent's hand. I remember seeing the Endrek playing one copy of Thoughtseize in the sideboard, for example, which I thought was pretty cool. But just having access to the one of Discard Spell just allows for some angles of attack that are not so reactive. Yeah, can't beat that one. All right, okay, number 3. This looks fine. I'm just gonna try to not mulligan to 5 again. And of note, we would have lost with the first hand as well, right? This is the kind of hand that I'm looking for. Multiple forms of interaction. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm hoping for here. And I'm playing the fetch land first because I want to have mana for veto, but I also don't want to shuffle if I bottom a card with opt. Mana leak sounds fine at this stage of the game. Every time you get to spell snare anything, it just feels so good. Play this one tapped, say go. See if they have the Nattytron. No Nattytron. We're gonna get to draw 2 on end step here. Seems exciting. Well, just mana leak that one, I guess. Nice. Good old post mana leak basic forest. You love to see it. So land plus the fairy would be insane here. Ding 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 ding. Boom. Huge swing. Huge swing. Oh. Speaking of huge swings. That's an Ulamog. Can I please not get veiled? Please? Yes. Alright, we get to play on for a little bit here. We get to play on for a little bit here. I'm gonna counter draw. They could have Baby Karn, but probably getting owned by Baby Karn anyway. Okay, so now if my opponent does nothing, we get to Snapcaster cryptic. If they do something, so what we can do here is we can veto and then we can snapcaster opt. Oh, no, we can't. Yikes, there's only one white source. Guess I should have played this one, huh? Well, obviously getting got by getting got by not knowing the list inside and out, because obviously this would have been extremely easy to fix, right? That would have been super easy to fix. Another snapcaster is not terrible. So now we can snapcaster cryptic and double up on the pressure. Boy, I'm really struggling with the Tron math over there. Boogian. So I think I'm gonna actually cash in the Domin's Veto here. The reason for that is we get to play around Veil, and like we still get to Snapcaster. We still get to Snapcaster leak something or Snapcaster opt if my opponent does nothing. Fourth Snapcaster. Sure, I have to say no to that one. Another land. Kind of running out of fetchables over here. We can present it 2-turn clock though. We Snapcaster, we swing for 6 this coming turn, and then we play another Snapcaster on the following turn. We swing for 8. That's eating a gust. Being able to cash in the gust here is it's a pretty big deal, I think. Really hoping that they play something else. All this dust. Snapcaster. Veto. Swing for 6. And then we have Snapcaster Cryptic. Snapcaster 1, 2, 3, 4 Cryptic with Gust. So we even get to Gust their steerings if they left it on top, which I don't think they did. Karn Liberated. If I let this go, they minus on one of my Snapcaster, we still have a 2-turn clock. So I think this one I can just let resolve. Got me. If this, all this dust. Wow. That's so awesome. Got there. Yes. 1-0. See you for the next round. All right, here we are for round number 2. Even though the the tracker is not up to date here, but I don't know. Sometimes MTGO can be a little bit silly. Playing against Gracias por Tanto, actually a fellow Argentinian player. Really good player. He tends to gravitate towards control decks, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see the turn 1 Flooded Strand at all. Playing a mirror, it seems like. We get to represent Archmage's Charm there. The two life seems kind of irrelevant, so. Let's try to not fetch so we could slightly increase our chances of finding lands, but it seems like we are going to be the first one to miss a land drop, which is... Oh no, woof, dodged. I don't think we can let my opponent untap and play their own Teferi, so... I think I'm going to be doing something on their end step, however. Probably just Guile. Exile their graveyard and make it 1/1. Yep. As predicted, we do miss our land drop. Which makes me happy that I made the play that I did, because otherwise we would have had to go to discard here. Draw 2. They're drawing 2 through manually, which is obviously bad for us, but it's good to point out there that they're drawing 2 instead of making me discard, correctly assuming that I'm going to at least have a couple of death removal spells in my hand. So very heads up play from my opponent there. I'm basically just throwing a card in the garbage because if I miss another land drop, I'm going to have to go to this card again. So, and this is what the control matchup is all about, right? Like you want to be hitting your land drops. So, I'm gonna make the same play. Exile all creatures, create a 1/1. Exile all cards, sorry. Hey, a land. Getting to draw 2 with Archmage's Charm there is obviously pretty nice. To get a little bit of scry action here. Both of those are great. I want to find the land first. Staying ahead on clock, also very important. They are getting a hit on cards, which is a little bit problematic because they're getting to hit their land drops and stuff. And I'm using Go for the Throat here because push kills any threat, but it does it more efficiently. Still looking for them land drops. Those are really hard to bust up. Let's put that one on top and that one on top. Missing land drops here, but at least we got stuff that we can do with our mana. assume they're gonna push here. Snapcaster. They're definitely quite ahead on cards. I could have mana leaked there, but they're gonna go to they're gonna be going down to this card anyway. So here I'm gonna take the damage and I'm gonna push their Snapcaster on end step. So they want to use Counterspell on the Fatal Push. Seems fine. But I guess I'm not gonna draw 2. Maybe just cry. Gaea's Guile. Sure. Cashing in the Mana Leak feels pretty good there. Although I wonder if we're gonna get to a point where my opponent is going to... Oh, that's a big deal. Okay, so that's a clock. Yikes. Well, the fact that my opponent has Colonnade and I don't... It's actually going to be quite relevant here. Discard 2. That was pretty good. Last there, they have a Logic Nut. Yep. Opponent obviously played this super well, but like, oh, I mean, they hit the land drops. That's the story of this game, right? Like, that's the story of this game. My opponent, look at that, the amount of mana. Like, my opponent was able to Esper Charm me and Cryptic Command and Logic Knot in the same turn, while I was just stuck playing 1 spell per turn. So obviously the discrepancy in mana was a massive deal there. We do have a lot of tools post Cyborg though. Do have a lot of tool posts for Cyborg. We don't have these like stupid fatal pushes and whatnot. The Colonnades, oddly enough, the Colonnades, oddly enough, seem kind of relevant. V-Click also seems very, very good in this matchup. Wonder what the last card is. I just think I'm just gonna get rid of all the mana leaks. Maybe Logic Knot. Keep. His hand seems strong. I love playing control mirrors. I love playing control mirrors. Yeah, we're not gonna pass up on that one. Not going to pass up on that one. Guess we can dispute this. Because we have veto. I could Snapcaster opt, but we're slightly ahead on clock, which is nice. Discard 2. This is really awkward, actually. Oh no, we're fine. So we have to make blue blue. Logic not. Guess we're gonna get rid of Mystical Dispute. Whatever they play now, we can just veto, which is quite nice. Next turn we can Snapcaster. It just sucks that all the stuff that we're doing is just reacting to what my opponent is doing. And we didn't really get good value from that force there. Because the card was getting exiled anyway. Jesus. Kind of feels like this veto is going to be big game. They want to trade Snapcasters. I think I'm okay with that. Okay. My opponent is a person of class. You can see that they know what's up, you know. The fact that we haven't really found any sort of card advantage nonsense is really annoying here. Draw 2. 2. Yeah, that's gotta have to let that resolve. It sucks because my opponent missed the land drop a couple of turns ago. But the fact that we have not been able to pressure my opponent's mana in any way is what it's proving problematic here. Fairy. So we're gonna do Snapcaster Force with veto backup. That's definitely... That definitely shows weakness there. That definitely is a show of weakness there. Pitching Cryptic. This seems worth beetling. Oh no, oh no! That's such a big mistake. I meant to plus. Oh wow. That is such a big mistake. I meant to plus there. Oh no. Because by plussing, we get out of the Celestial Colony, then we get to on top with Jace. I just automatically went for the Brainstorm. Oh wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that is such a big mistake. Holy crap. Yeah, they're just gonna go for it. Like, obviously they are. Oh my god, that's brutal. That is a massive, massive, massive mistake on my part. It was just getting too hasty. Oh no. That is so devastating. That is so devastating. Big, big mistake. I know I have a land on top, so I'm going to shuffle that away. Huge mistake. Holy crap. Seems worth countering. Could have also guiled to exile their graveyard instead of the Snapcaster, instead of using a counterspell. Discard 2. I guess I'd rather do this instead of discarding 2. They could have chased here, and that would be a problem. Yeah, it all comes down to that one turn where I made that insanely, insanely huge mistake. And now I think that we may get owned here. Oh man, that's gonna haunt me. That's going to haunt me. Yeah, now the card advantage is gonna be too much to keep up. I think I have to do... do I have to do this? Yeah, I have to do this because I need to pressure their planeswalkers. I guess I could have played around Mana Leak here. I guess I might as well. Because like it's not like I'm not making him sack a Colonnade, and it's not like the 4 life really matter. So maybe I could have just... done the thing there. B-click, Guile. Okay. we find our own Teferi, we have a shot. Archmage's Charm, I'm not gonna bottom. Blue. Blue. Draw 2. I guess it was bound to happen. Yeah, I'm just gonna lose from here. Wow, I can't believe I made that mistake. Yeah, that was the entire match right there. That was the entire match, because if I manage to untap with the Teferi, with the Jace, sorry, even if my opponent just like activates Colonnade, Teferi goes down to 1, like I just threw the game completely after that mistake. Bro. Okay, so I'm just gonna concede here because we're not gonna be able to beat both of these protected with the Colonnade. We have nothing going on. I don't think that we can win the game anymore. Even if we find like our own Teferi, which could arguably be the best draw, my opponent just colonnades it and we lose. Yeah, there it is. So I guess I have to plus here. Yeah, I was just punished by that single mistake. Ended up deciding the entire match. Apologize for that. All right, see you for the next round. Welcome to round number 3, playing against the Yorion deck. I think I'm keeping this. Still a little bit heartbroken after that misclick in the previous round, but it's okay. I will get over it. Maybe. Really hoping to not see a Ren and 6 here. These decks very often are jamming some copies of Ren. And Ren would be pretty good right here, I gotta say. Don't do it. That's exactly what I said I didn't want to see. Opponent, you're not paying attention. I was talking to Everos the other day, and he was saying that he's been enjoying playing Eliminate in his Esper Control deck lists, and I can really see why. Like, we have no answers to this card. Like, we have Gusts in the sideboard, but like I'm not even excited to be bringing in Gust against this deck. I guess I am. I'm assuming that they're playing Niv. So I guess this Gust is not terrible, but... Got a Temple Garden? Well, they could have gotten a Triumph. Maybe we're not playing against Niv here. I feel like I just want to mana leak anything, just use my mana. Never mind. So they are playing Niv because they're playing Abundant Harvest. So Abundant Growth. Sorry, not Harvest. But I'm gonna be forced to like Cryptic Bounce this Ren and 6, which is not what I want to be doing. Not at all what I want to be doing. But unfortunately, it's gonna be the play that I will have to make. I mean, that's not Cryptic mana. What's my opponent doing over there? Doing stuff at instant speed? Prismari Command. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a pretty sweet combo. So on their end step, we're gonna be bouncing Ren, drawing a card, I guess. Ideally, they'll tap off like Bring to Light or something. Yeah, it's not what I was hoping they would tap out for. That's gross. And this is literally my only answer to Ren. Can I beat a Renblem? I can beat a Renblem if I find a Kaya's Guile. So I guess I'm signing up for that. They have a second one? If they have a second one, we're super screwed. Oh no. Well, their hand was disgusting. Their hand was absolutely disgusting. Their hand was ridiculous and they were on the play. So I don't think we could have really done anything at all, honestly, if I'm thinking about it right now. So I'm just gonna Jason plus, play around Helix or whatnot. Throw that one to the bottom, please. That's so brutal. Can we win in any way? What is required for us to win? We need for Jace to survive. Oh, they just had their own dude. Yeah. It's probably not beatable. Let's move on to the next one. So, we like Kaya's Guile. We like either Gusts. We don't like Fatal Push. I'm gonna hold on to the Go for the Throats, I think. Veto seems good. Dispute seems okay. So these are the cards that I'm into. Don't want Vendilion clicks because X1s are not great. Gonna shave on a couple of counter spells because I'm already bringing in disputes. Spell Charm, I guess it's okay. I guess we have Gusts, so maybe we just don't want to go for the Throats anyway. That was such a good hand from them. Turn to Ren and then that Prismara command to set up the double the fairy turn. Yeah, so hold on to this one. Send the Cryptic. Gonna go turn one Drowned Catacombs because if we draw land into land, I can cast Archmage's Charm on 3. Sunken Ruins would be great. Yep. They could have fetched Triumphs in a couple of occasions in the previous game and they didn't, which really surprised me. They were just fetching tap lands. Out of here. Finding a blue source would be awesome here. please. So if they have the fairy, we're in a lot of trouble. Land, please. Phew. So if my opponent does nothing, I'm definitely going to draw 2. Because it sets up Snapcaster Archmage's Charm. Maybe they have disputes and stuff like that. Another Prismari command. Prismari command, when they don't have a Ren going, seems a lot better. Oh, they're shocking me. Weird, but okay. Blue card plus force is not bad. So even if they have, I think they're setting up Nib plus Veil or something like that. And if they are, this seems kind of cool. Yep, that's exactly what they were setting up. Snapcaster, Archmage's Charm. Counter target spell. And when they veil, we're just gonna force the veil. We're a little bit out of gas here, though. If they have another Nib, we're in trouble. If they don't have another Nib and they have BTL, that Snapcaster was an insane draw. And we could be in trouble here. We really have to draw something here. Okay, Utopia's Brawl is fine. That's all they got going. Please be a Bring to Light. Please be a Bring to Light. Please be a Bring to Light. Yes. Huge. Absolutely huge. Okay. Should be able to counter most things that are problematic. And now we have a 2-turn clock with both of these guiles, which is nice. Cycling Triumph is acceptable. Abundant Growth. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assuming they're gonna Yori on this turn. Okay. End of turn. Exile everything. Make a 1/1. Swing for 5. Unless they have Supreme Verdict post board for whatever reason, I think that we should have it looked up. They're gonna have 4 mana tops. So instead, I sack a creature, create a 1/1, and then we can dispute whatever they play. Opponent gets 1 look. They're hoping for Lightning Helix. That's what they're making red and white mana there. Hoping to draw Lightning Helix, which we can just discard. Sweet. All right, game 3. Yeah, seems okay. Just gotta find a spell snare to, because my opponent's obviously always gonna have turn 2 Wrenn and 6, so we just have to make sure that we have a spell snare. That's the strat. That's the strategy that we're going for here. Yeah, I'm not gonna send this. We do have an answer to Wrenn, which is cool. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Okay, this is good because this means no turn 2 Wrenn. So no turn 2 Wrenn. They could be setting up at the Fairy, which would be a good reason to get rid of the Mystical Dispute there. Turn 1 basic swamp is not free for the Nib deck. Hoping that I don't have to force the Teferi here. Because that would suck. Well, they can't cast Teferi with that mana, so I guess we're fine. They also can't cast Prismatic Command. Jeez, like those Prismatic Vistas are not free in that deck. Those Prismatic Vistas are not free. Shocking. They're just gonna Prismatic Command here. That's fine. And they're really representing that Veil of Summer. I'm probably gonna, if they go for a Nib, I'm just gonna Cryptic, and we're just gonna make the same play that we did before, where we just counter their Nib, and then we just force the Veil. Seems like what's happening. Counter draw. We do get 2 for 1 here, but like we're also 2 for 1 in them, so that's fine. Putting Yorion in hand. Just gonna draw 2 here. Not bad, not bad. Yorion seems fine. We just get to get full value from Guile. The clock is on. The clock is on. All right, opponent, get ready to feel the pain. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can Snapcaster. If they do nothing, we get to Snapcaster Archmage's Charm, which is nice. What's this? Omnath. Nahiri. Yeah, I think this is worth Snapcaster Crypticking. Maybe they're baiting me. No, they're not. Because they just conceded. Alright, see you for the next round. Alright, 2 and 1. Sure. Skip this hand. We can push something if we want to. We can also just opt. Blackleaf Cliffs. Blackleaf Cliffs. I guess I don't want to fetch just yet because we may be playing against the Blood Moon deck. It could be Mardu, or it could be just straight up black-red. If it's straight up black-red and I'm playing Blood Moon, it's gonna be a problem. I think I want to go after basics anyways, just in case. I assume they're gonna take Jace, yeah. Crocs. Well, go for the throat down, I guess. That's a nice one to top deck right there. That's a nice one for my opponent to not know about, I'll tell you that much. That's a really nice one for my opponent to not know about. Bone Crusher. Sure. Honestly, I'm mostly doing this because it's just a clean way to use my mana, and this Cryptic is kind of awkward otherwise. Oh, we already have another cryptic in hand. Oh man, it would be glorious if they have like a fetch land or something, then we just Kaya's Skyland response. Or they just do nothing and we just Kaya's Skyland end step. Exile all cards, create a 1/1. Next. I felt good. Pushing my 1/1, but that's kind of fine because they're a Liliana deck. So because they're a Liliana deck, them using cards even on something silly like that seems pretty good for me. So I'm assuming that the last card is a Season Pyromancer. Or maybe they just slummed Blood Moon because they felt like it. Also an option. We are out of gas here though, so if they have another Blood Moon, Season Pyro is gross. Another Kaya's Guile would be awesome. Wow, them being able to turn their stupid Fatal Push into a 1/1 feels like super big deal. Snapcaster would be awesome. That's what I was gonna say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So we can Snapcaster Cryptic, we can Snapcaster Kaya's Guile. So I assume my opponent's gonna cling here. And if they go after the Guile, we go after the Cryptic. So just gonna Cryptic, bounce and draw. And this way we counter the cling. We have Snapcaster in our hand. Guile is doing work. Ugh. That sucks because that is something that they can feed to the Guile. Let's go get basic island. Force of negation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too bad that we can't flash back Jace to my sculptor, right? Am I right? Imagine they're gonna pitch this. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. Holding on to this because I may draw a planeswalker, and if I do draw a planeswalker, then I'm gonna want to protect the spirit. Huh. I guess I should have attacked if I wasn't gonna block. Oh, come on. That's so gross. Wow. Well, guess we're about to die here. Is there anything that we can draw? Jace? Snapcaster? Snappy doesn't really do it. I guess I should have main phase Snapcaster Opt there. Yeah, I should have main phase Snapcaster Opt there because I cannot just, you know, take 2 by targeting this thing. All of that. Yep. So if they have removal, I would be dead. So I'm just gonna block and then I'm gonna bounce the Snapcaster and draw. Okay. Okay, we lose to Bolt. That's obviously big. Archmage's Charm. Hanging by a thread here. Hanging by a thread. Again, we lose to Snapcaster, we lose to a bunch of things. Couple creatures to a card. We lose to Cape Command. We lose to another Bone Crusher. This is tight. This is tight. Draw 2. It's not looking good. We're hanging by a thread. We're hanging by a thread. I'm gonna have to jump the Bone Crusher. Chomp Bone Crusher. Fetch plus push. Oh man, this is so close. This is super close. forcing this because they are down to 0 cards and it doesn't give them the last card they need for Croxa, which is awesome. So what to do here is the question. I guess I could Castle Ventress, because I'm looking for specifically Kaya's Guile. And I guess scrying with Castle Ventress is what digs me the deepest, I guess. So we're looking for specifically Kaya's Guile, and then we can draw it. Throw that to the bottom, throw that to the bottom. I could -3 and send the Bone Crusher. Yeah, that seems better. Third from the top. So we have to dodge 1 turn. Gonna keep this one. Gonna plus. Well, we would have missed, so good thing I went for that play. We lose to... Oh, we're actually on the board. I totally forgot about the Season Pyromancer. Alright. Brutal. Kaya's Guile, please. Need more Kaya's Guile. Force of Negation seems not great. Veto seems kind of bad, actually. Guile seems awesome. Esper Charm seems fine. Fatal Pushes can probably go. Although I guess go for the Throat is a little bit more expensive, but it can kill Season Pyromancer and stuff without needing Revolt. So maybe it's just fine. This seems okay to me. Maybe I want Damnation. I think I want 1 copy of Damnation. What a grind. What an absolute grind. Having access to 4 Guiles is gonna be a big deal. That's funny. Good old Thoughtseize. Good old Thoughtseize. Take a peek at my newly drawn Mana Leak. I mean, they took it last turn, so I have to assume they're taking it again this time. That's quite funny, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna bottom a Snapcaster. Whew. Whew. I'm okay with drawing like this. I am okay with drawing like this. We can keep that going. Blood Moon. I think I want to draw 2. I mean, we have the answer to it in our hand right now. So they put it on top. Now I'm just gonna fetch for an island. I'm gonna cast this. I'm assuming they're gonna keep that on top as well. Yep. See some pyro here. Leyline of the Void. That's so bad. That's quite bad. Would love to see a Guile here. Guile of the Kaias variety. See the Blood Moon. Just counter draw. Oh, Esper Charm actually answers Blood Moon as well. It's nice. Inquisition. I think I want a Cryptic. There's nothing really they can resolve that I care too much about here. They can Blood Moon me, I guess. Liliana. Sure. So now they can't cast Croxa. We still don't have a Black Source, by the way, which is funny. Can't cast Croxa, cannot cast Liliana either. We can answer this Blood Moon many different ways. Probably Snap Gust is the best way to answer it. Oh, we also get to draw 2, which is neat. Cling would be sick, though. Cling would be really good right here. No Cling. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they left this on top. K command, return Season Pyro, discard the card. Sure. They keep putting it on top. They keep putting the Blood Moon on top. And it just doesn't feel like it's what this game is about. It really feels like you're super overvaluing this Blood Moon. Can we find the Kaias Guile so we can make this justice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I put a stop on my upkeep. Because I find Kaya's, like, it's such a big deal to find Kaya's Guile here. Yeah. I guess I have 2. Brutal. That's quite brutal. So I assume they're gonna get back Kroxa here. Seems good. Guess I'm gonna go for the throat. Gonna pitch the Water Grave. Really gotta find a card advantage engine of some sort here. Really gotta find it like right now. No! I tapped wrong. Ugh. I'm just getting owned by these Teferis. God damn it. Oh, come on, man. Please let me Guile. All I want is to Guile. Cryptic is a good draw. Cryptic is obviously a fine draw there. So now we can counter the Kroxa and trade 1 for 1. Yeah, that's fine. So they should attack first. Yeah, my idea. I mean, we have 4 Guiles. It does seem like it's worth it for me to castle. It does seem like it's worth it for me to castle. God damn. Jeez. We have 4 Guiles in the deck. We have dug 6, 9 cards deep at this point. We couldn't find the first one. So if my opponent does nothing here, if they play the Kroxa, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna shuffle and like it is what it is. But if they don't play the Kroxa, what we get to do is we would get to oh, I guess we can just Snapcaster Gust the Kroxa. And then we just swing for lethal. Nice. Nice. This seems fine. I don't think I'm supposed to have access to force. sure. Maybe the Damnation is a little bit of wishful thinking against the Blood Moon deck now that I think about it. Maybe this should not be in my deck. Also, I just realized how insanely awkward my mana is with this hand. Just realized how insanely awkward this is. Yeah, I mean, if we don't find another counter spell, this could be a problem. It's rough that they managed to squeeze in the magmatic channeler on that turn. They're not trying to find lands? Oh, okay. We're getting got by the mana base a little bit here. Getting a little bit got by the mana over here. Hopefully we can get out of this problem before we get Blood Mooned. Inquisition resolves. Defeats the Croxa. Castle Lochtwain is scary. Well, an actual entire hand of uncastable cards. The good thing is obviously we find the Black Source and then we're fine, but it's truly remarkable. It is truly remarkable how none of our cards do anything here. Black Source. All right. Black Source. Boom. I think I'm gonna main phase kill this. Because I really want to save this to fetch for a basic, so just gonna do this right now, I guess. Even though it means I don't get to hold up Spell Snare. I think the upside is higher though, and I obviously don't want my opponent to be able to untap with this, so. Okay, command. Return target creature. Finally got my Spell Snare. Okay. They're serving? Okay. So I guess you're gonna draw with Castle. Alright, so get an island. Scry 2. The fairy is probably the best thing that we can find. Now the land, sure. So certainly quite powerful here. Devastating. Absolutely devastating draw. We need to do better than a Fatal Push. Fatal Push doesn't catch me up with my opponent having now... Oh, yeah. Okay, this game is now over. We tried. We tried, but... We tried, but we just couldn't get there. And even something like Damnation just doesn't really do it anymore because like my opponent just gets the tokens on their end step and we're just over with this. Is there anything that saves me here? This would have been fine a couple of turns ago, not right now. Now it's uncastable because of the Blood Moon. Yeah, we're just over here. Anyway, see you for the next round. Pretty rough way to go. Like I feel like we were fine. Like we just had so many looks at finding anything of relevance, but we just whiffed. All right, see you for the next round. All right, last round. Currently seen at 2-2. I'll ship this one and keep this hand. Send one of these Fatal Pushers. Turn 1 Steam Vents. Not a bad top deck. Maybe we have to cash in the Spell Snare. That would be great. Okay, so I'm gonna assume we're playing against some form of Blue Moon, so I'm gonna go with a basic island here. Opt. Sure, I think I'm gonna have time to be opting if we're playing against the control deck. I'm assuming we're not playing against Prowess or anything like that, because there's no way my opponent wouldn't have played a threat already if we were playing against Prowess. Peer through depths. Gonna let this resolve. We're probably... Ooh, this is... this is the Lotus Field deck. What's the name of this deck? Oh, maybe not. Twiddlestorm. Maybe it's not Twiddlestorm. Wishclaw Talisman. Is this Ad Nauseam? We've been kind of getting destroyed by the mana base in the last couple of matches. Last couple of games, I guess. Oh, it is the Lotus Field deck. All the ones that are not like free or they're not card advantage, I think I'm gonna let resolve, and then I'm gonna save this force for the key piece. Which, like, if they're going for ideas Unbound here, and they don't splice, I am going to counter it next turn. I'm going to let it resolve, and then I'm going to counter when they attempt to splice. But I think they're just going to splice onto the ideas Unbound, because now they found this Psychic Puppetry. Okay, I'm going to let it resolve, and I'm going to make my opponent attempt to go off with only 3 mana. Zero ambition's fine. Not excited about having a hand of Fatal Push, Kaya's Guile against my opponent's deck, but I guess it is what it is. I think I let that resolve. Seems like they're just kind of spinning their wheels here. Gonna have to discard 3 cards on end step. Tweedle's fine. Black mana. That's fine. Well, they're out of mana, so I think we're just gonna counter this one. And they're gonna have to discard everything, because they floated for black. So now they can't untap the thing, and when we go to end step, they have to discard their hand. They do have a Wishful Talisman in play, though, so... Just backed. Wow. Alright, so I guess my play was so clean and tight that they are like, this is clearly the superior gamer. And they have disconnected. Okay, maybe they were just not into it. Alright, 3 and 2. Deck was cool. It has the, you know, like the usual control problem, right? Which is like, you have a bunch of answers, but if you don't find it on time, like, we dug so deep for those Kaya's Guiles against what's his name, against the Black Red deck. We dug so deep, and we just couldn't find them in time. We just lost to them. Like, we did have a bunch of cards that would have enabled us to keep up, but we didn't find them in time. We just died. And then we played against what was the other loss? I totally forgot what was the... Oh, we lost the mirror. Yeah, the mirror we just lost to a misclick. Like, I obviously said, you know, I'm gonna plus with Jason. I explained why, and then I just immediately resolved Jason, went for the brainstorm. Those you know, old habits die hard. So it wasn't great, but it is what it is, I guess. Hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the ICE channel, so we would really appreciate it if you would help us in doing so. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, let me know in the description down below. And if you have any suggestions of something that you would want us to watch me play, of course, everything is welcome. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time, folks. Bye bye.